Does a lost person give their life to Jesus to be saved? Now, that's a very popular phrase taught by well-meaning people, but is it true? We're going to examine it from a doctrinal perspective, look at 8 doctrinal points. First point, eternal life is a free gift, Romans 6:23. You don't give anything for a free gift. You receive the gift. Look at John 1:12. John 1:12 says we receive the gift by believing on Jesus. Point number 2. Lost people are dead in trespasses and sins. Look at Ephesians chapter 2, verse 1 and 5. There's nothing in a lost person's life that they could give to Jesus, that Jesus could use to save the lost person from their sins. Nothing. Point number 3. Who gives believers to Jesus? The Father does. Look at John 6:37, John 6:39, John 10:27-29, and John 17:1-2. Fourth point. It's not the will of God the Father Almighty for everlasting life. That's specifically stated in John 6:40, which is to believe on Jesus. Fifth point. Lost people are indeed saved by a life. It's the life of Jesus. Look at Romans 5:10. Sixth point. The teaching to give your life to Jesus is not part of the saving gospel, which is defined at 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 1 through 4, which basically tells us the saving gospel is the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. Seventh point. Acts 16:30-31 gives us the most direct question and answer in the Bible on how to be saved. It has nothing to do with give your life to Jesus. Eighth point, and this is very important. There is not one verse in the New Testament that uses this terminology to teach anyone how to be saved. Now, I have actually asked lost people this question. What if I told you that you had to give your life to Jesus in order to get to heaven? Now, here's the typical answer. Well, I guess that means I have to give my time, service, and money to Jesus. Well, what's that? What kind of gospel is that? That's a works gospel. It's not true. Now, that phrase, give your life to Jesus, if it was used like this, talking to Christians, you need to give your life to Jesus in service. Well, that's great advice. That lines up with Romans 12:1, present your bodies in service, and that's sanctification, but it has nothing to do with how to be saved. Now, if the phrase, give your life to Jesus, be saved, is not true, guess what other phrases are not true that are similar? You need to surrender your life to Jesus to be saved. Not true. You need to commit your life to Jesus to be saved. Not true. You need to turn your life over to Jesus to be saved. Not true. Because there's nothing in a lost person's life that they can present to Jesus that he can use to save them from their sins. I know they're very popular phrases, once again taught by usually well-meaning, good people, but they're not true, and they should never be used to teach anyone how to be saved.